Hey beautiful people, we're going to get into this style. First off, I want to share with you that my hair is conditioned and it is freshly washed. After that, I blow dried it, and in preparation of doing this cornrow style, I wanted to make sure my braids were flat to my scalp. The part that you see right here is where I will have my side part so it looks as natural as possible. And I want to emphasize the importance of creating a small parting section so it looks like it's actually growing out of your scalp. Remember, we want this invisible part so it looks like the crochet hair is growing out of that area and make it look as natural as possible. You'll see at the end how it all comes together. So I'm going to finish up with braiding the last two sections. I'm going to go ahead and do this section and then the next section. One thing that I notice with braiding is it helps if I use oil. So you see my fingers look very shiny. I put a ton of coconut oil on my fingertips to help with the process of braiding my hair down. Any oil will do, but that's my favorite. When I start braiding my hair, I always part at the very top section, and then this allows the braids to be flat and crisp so they can last as long as possible. I want this style to last. So now I grab all three of the braids and combine them. This saves me so much time later on when I take this style down a few weeks from now, because all I have to do is take out the one braid until I get to my scalp. It saves so much time, especially with hair that's a lot longer. Oh goodness. So I'm finishing up this braid and then I'm going to move on to the back. Pro tip for easy detangling: finish off all your braids with 2-strand twists. Here, when my ends get kind of thin, I'm going to 2-strand twist it, and this also helps speed up the takedown when I'm ready to take the style out after it gets old. When I do hairstyles, I like to do things that are going to last and also not cause a lot of work for me. So I try to think ahead. So you see right here, I have a 2-strand twist right there. And another tip I want to give is whenever you are manipulating hair to help it retain length, it's good to be very gentle with it. So I twisted this strand in my hand and then unraveled it first to be as gentle with it as possible. So as you can see, I had a 2-strand twist on the base of my braid and I'm unraveling it. And that braid I did previously, the day before, when I was preparing to do this style, to keep my hair stretched, because like I said earlier in the video, I blow dried it. So here I am using my rat tail comb to help detangle the ends, because one of the things I notice, sometimes it's hard for me to see exactly where my ends end as it pertains to my 2-strand twist. So the rat tail comb is a great help for me. So now I'm just going to unravel the rest of this braid, and one tip I also want to share is when I wear half wigs or any wigs in general, the nape of my neck gets sore because I'm tender-headed. So I chose a new method where I take the braid and then wrap it around to the nape of my neck instead of having a braid that goes straight. Like, can you see how it's kind of like a half U? My hair is kind of covering it, but you can kind of get an idea of how that looks. And then I'm combining those 2 braids in the back like I did on the side before. I'm going to take my crochet hook and tuck away my ends so it's all secure and ready to go for the next part. All right, now let's get to the fun part. I'm going to go ahead and put my wig cap on, and I'm going to show you guys what I was going for, the reason why I did this braiding pattern. So here's how the wig is going to sit once I crochet the rest of the hair down. You can get an idea of what the half wig is going to look like. So that's going to be covered when I add the crochet hair, which you will see in a moment. When I tell you I found this method off of YouTube and it saved me so much time with doing my hair, most times I would have crocheted my whole head, but why do that when you can just do the front and then wear a half wig? Woo! This method has saved me so much time, especially when I'm busy with grad school. It's coming together, so that's where my part will be, and I'm gonna take this half wig off and start applying the crochet hair. The hair type I'm using will be linked in the description below. The first piece I'm adding here, I am not using the invisible part method, but that's totally okay because it's gonna be kind of hidden behind the half wig and the rest of the hair. I just wanted to make sure that piece was secure because as you can see, my braid isn't flat to my scalp. I could have indeed sewed my hair down with some thread, but I didn't want to do all that. I'm trying to get done with the style. So as you can see, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next part, and we're gonna pull it on through like that. These little latch hooks get on my nerves sometimes, but they get the job done, so I work with them. So we're gonna get the next one. I'm always struggling with closing the latch. I don't know why. I've tried the method where you just pull the latch through with it open, but it always tangles on my hair, so I have to manually close it and open it every single time. And this is where I start the invisible part method. And basically what it is you have the knot only on the side of the braid that's going to be covered by the hair. And I'll show you all again how I achieve this. So take the latch hook through like that, and then once it's pulled through, you're going to only grab one strand of hair, the hair that's on the side that's going to be hidden. So the knot's going to be behind the braid instead of in front of the braid. So it has a knotless look. And keep going with this process, pulling only one side of the hair. Once again, I've seen people do this, so I'm going to try it. Oh, it worked for me. Kind of. Yeah, so with that being said, the knot will only be on the hidden side. The hair will cover up the knot on the other side. I hope that is clear. You can kind of get an idea of what I'm doing. And one thing I also want to emphasize is the importance of using thinner strands of crochet hair as you get closer to the edges of your hair. Like I was saying, my hair is fine. So if I have hair that's really heavy on my hair, if I have crochet hair that's heavy on my braided hair, it's gonna weigh it down. And another method I like to do to help it look like it's growing out of my scalp is to separate the crochet hair. Kind of give it a little bit of attraction. See how thin this piece is? The thinner the piece, the more realistic it will look in the top. So like before, we're going to close the latch hook, pull the loop through, and we're going to pull the strand that is farther away, and then push the other piece over. And I like to just tie it tight as I can, so I'm creating a little knot because since this piece is so thin, it's not staying, but with that knot being there, it's going to be secure. This hair is a slippery texture. And once again, I'm separating the strands to try to give it some volume and cover up that braid. I'm going to keep repeating this method until it's done. And pull it on over. You see how it's creating that growing out of the scalp effect? Yay, we're almost done. Alright, so since I finished the parting, I'm gonna go ahead and cover up this other braid that I have for the side of my hair. And continue this process until all of the braid is securely covered up. And I also use the invisible part method there, so if the wind blows my hair back, nobody will know. They'll think it's coming out of my scalp. You also see how I kind of tease the part of the hair, and that also helps with the smaller sections of crochet hair, because as you use smaller sections they are really slippery, but when you tease them and rub them together a little bit, that helps a lot. So here I am, and I'm going to show you all how I'm going to make it look more realistic and natural. So I'm going ahead and smoothing everything out and kind of blending it in and rubbing down that hair. I'm trying to find the part again. So you can see where the half wig starts because I showed you by putting it on my head. But if you look closely, if you really look, you can't really tell unless you actually saw me put the half wig on my head. Look at that. I got me a style for a few weeks and I'm ready to go. Yeah, I'm just going in and making sure everything is secure and all the knots are tight, so I don't have any crochet hair falling out as I'm walking or anything. You see that? You see how natural that looks? What? Nobody's gonna know. I actually had people ask me if that was my real hair numerous times. I'd be like, wow, I love your hair. Oh my gosh. How did you do your hair? Girl, it's fake. Yeah, so once again, I'm gonna loosen up the strands and kind of separate them to give that more like the flyaway look in the front that my hair usually has, and tuck it behind my ear just so you guys can see how realistic it looks, and just play with it until I'm satisfied with the style. Yeah, later on I could add some mousse to it if I wanted. I could like use my wide tooth comb and fluff it out to give it a more fluffy look, but I like the curls to look pretty defined, so I'm not gonna mess with it too much. I might just separate the curls a little bit, but this is the look I like. It has lots of volume. It's so warm because, girl, it was a winter time when I did this look and I want it to be warm. But this is the complete look. Thank you for watching. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, and share this with a friend so she can be on point and have her crochet hair looking realistic.